You fish, you're putting it down, you know.
Yeah, I think I was completely out of battery by the time we caught a fish that day.
Yeah.
Solid half hour right there.
Very
Solid
nice.
morning.
Very good. Solid. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a great morning so far.
That fish right there told Hackney something. Did you hear him? I just needed one bite.
Said he bit good, too. Yeah. A lot of information in there. You want to dig in as far as you want to dig in. Hey, we've got 6 hours of fishing yet to go today. 4 hours of Bassmaster Live, and both of our distinguished guests so far have said, hey, this one's going down probably till they wind them in.
Dare I say a tie? What?
Well, don't say that.
All right.
Yeah, don't dare to say that. We don't want to tie. We're going to have a champion at the end of this day. We're going to take a break, be back with more at BassFest,
where the stars are playing to rise.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resort. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
It's funny, I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. And we have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
Right there.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
If you love bass fishing, then show your support by joining B.A.S.S today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing. With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now.
Hi, I'm Edwin Evers, and we're here on Lake Texoma. We've got the Bassmaster BassFest here, and let me tell you, the lake is really, really high. It's 625 and rising. It's going to be 626 by the end of the day. Stuff is flooded everywhere. This is an 89,000 acre lake, but with all this water, it's a lot bigger than that right now. It's the water's in good shape. You know, the visibility is good. You know, I just wish we didn't have quite so much water. The fishing would be a lot better if it'd be low. But one of these guys here is going to figure this thing out to a T and show what Lake Texoma is all about. Lake Texoma straddles the Texas-Oklahoma border. It's formed by the Red River and the Ouachita River. And, you know, generally this lake fishes really good year-round. You know, starting into February, 1st of March, all the way through June is probably the absolute best time to be at Lake Texoma for bass fishing. But it's a lake that, you know, you can fish shallow generally year-round. It's not a lake that you have to get out really deep, you know. Fortunately for me, I've been fishing this lake since I was in college. You know, I graduated high school and I moved to this lake, and I spent almost every day out here for 4 years and learned a lot about it and had a lot of success, but I haven't fished it at this level very often. I don't think anybody has. You know, generally there's only a couple boat ramps open, so you couldn't even get on the lake and all the tournaments would be canceled. But you know, the lake was really known for striper fishing. It's one of the few fisheries in the country that the stripers naturally reproduce, and it's just chock full of stripers. So, you know, if the bass aren't biting, you can come down here and go striper fishing. You got lots of options here on Lake Texoma.
Live coverage of the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts will return after this short break.
Come on now.
That one right there.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com. Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howe. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more. You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
30, 29, 28, tick, tock. 25 years old, and you're still laying in the mud. 15 feet in the air, that's where you feel most alive. 10 meter maids waiting to wallpaper your truck. Better get out of town. 5, 4, 3. The all-new Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
This one has not failed us. BassFest 2016. It just gets more interesting with each passing hour here on the final day. 12 anglers out there. 2 of the top 2 to start this day. Locked into it. Virtual tie. As you look at Gerald Swindle and Greg Hackney, who we just saw.
Tournament,
Good
man.
tournament going on here. Hackney just landed a 3.5 pounder there. Put himself right back in the middle of it after a slow first couple of hours of fishing. Rick Clunn holding his own on this final day. Casey Ashley still waiting for fireworks to happen. He's the one who's pulling up behind the top 3 there. So
BassFest compelling.
thank you for that. We'll keep that going, that theme as well. It is compelling to watch all the stuff that's going on today. Greg Hackney on the left. I guess we got Casey Ashley on the right. That's 6 more hours left to fish.
So you know what I get during BassFest?
What?
Remember our old friend from Oklahoma, Edwin Evers' brother-in-law, Tuesday's brother?
Terry
Butcher.
Yeah.
Terry Butcher likes to send pictures of smallmouth from Chequamegon Bay. Hope you guys are having a big day in studio. Look at me. Try to get that picture up here a little bit.
Trying to rub that in just a little bit.
Z, you're Ashley. You got 1 fish in 3.5 hours. What are you thinking? What do you do? What do you change? Stay the course?
Look,
what?
man, this has been a tournament where your leaders, we've said it all week long, gang, if you're hanging with us, just joining us, your leaders have made the comment, we're seeing a big-time weather change. Your leaders have made the comment all week long. I don't know if and when my next bite is coming. Every day of this tournament, Casey Ashley, when he's gone to work on his meat, I'm talking 10 to noon when he's caught his big ones, he's had 4 or 5 in the boat by then. I'm just saying.
But like he said, he's had the sun pushing him under the cover.
Sure.
Now he doesn't.
Here's what I will say. This has been one of the strangest, weird, all the way from the Classic, Tommy, we've made the comment, we have had some weird events, strange tournaments. This is falling right in line as of right now.
And just think of the contrast between the last 2, both of them in Texas, a few miles away. Toledo Bend, you knew, and these guys knew what was going to play out that day.
Yeah.
You knew Kevin Van was going to set up in a spot, and Chris Lane was going to go to his place, catch big ones. You knew Kevin Van Dam was going to set up on his spot.
You don't know what's around the corner
Nothing
here.
like that has happened here.
I totally agree.
Absolutely a different thing.
And let me read it. I said, as confident as Casey was last night, I wrote it down. We got another look at the weather system coming in, blowing up.
So we're down, yeah. It's going to have to dip pretty severely to catch these guys by way into that's a judgment call there. I don't know if they're going to get a little shower. They're going to get a drop or 2.
But his exact words, man, are, my bites are random. They're random. I'm confident I'm around good ones, obviously, with what I weighed in, but it's random. I don't know.
It's like you said day one, all of these guys are in places that hold a lot of fish or they wouldn't be here on this final day.
You know, and the thing that here's the other side of this. Here's what Casey's up against. Two of the biggest momentum snowballs in fishing right now. Every year we see a snowball of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron last year. And every year, those anglers that get on momentum runs, they win one. They win one.
Sure. Van Dam, Faircloth. We've seen it just year after year it happens, yeah.
It's almost like, you know, I heard Mercer say it. You gotta win one to win Angler of the Year.
But you know, you talk this
Yeah,
top three here.
Yeah.
I mean, we are loaded. We got 2 Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year champs and a classic champ
ugly.
from the last couple of years.
And by the way,
Casey
Rick Clunn.
Ashley. Yeah, and Rick Clunn, who's won 4 of them. I mean, we're loaded. We are loaded today. You can't count anyone out till 10 minutes till weigh-in.
You know, Tommy, Casey Ashley, we love him. We don't like him.
We were talking about what a
him.
unique, really solid fisherman this guy is.
I've only been embarrassed once or twice a tournament when we used to go to events. But the Classic, what went on at the Classic when he came into what we called the Players Lounge.
Yeah.
Where we would do our interviews. Tony Martinez would try to pry into our fun. He was a fun hater.
Wait, come on.
No, I have no problem saying that.
Okay, let's not get into that.
But Casey walked into, he walked into a situation where you were spanking me like a dog.
No, I wasn't.
Because
touching you.
I think I wet the floor.
Hold on.
I wet the floor, and you told Bad Puppy
What
to
would
get
you
in the.
do? What would you do if anyone?
Bad Puppy.
There we go.
Bad
Okay,
Puppy.
that's what.
Yeah, Bad Puppy goes potty.
We're just trying to.
Oh, no, stop it! Stop it!
No,
Stop it!
Where did that come from?
Get this back. Go back. Casey, Greg hacked me. Somebody live. No, don't. Let's never, ever,
That
ever.
is so great.
No, the still picture is.
Oh no!
No.
Oh,
How does this
God.
end up here?
Wow. Yeah. No.
Actually, this
No,
is
that
Tommy
was-
the night before. He was
that
out
was-
with some of his buddies that he goes to bonfires with. I heard about you guys. And this
right after the drum circle, we got this going there.
the drum circle. Were you at a Grateful Dead
okay,
concert?
Enough with the
Oh,
pictures.
no,
Okay.
No.
When you start showing me, that's enough pictures.
Hey, look, my kids watch this. This is stuff that we don't need to. We don't need. Bad
Pounding the
You
door.
don't do that at home?
Puppy goes potty. Bad Puppy potty. Bassmaster Live BassFest, where the stars are plying their trade.
Why Brandon Card popped up in
Yep.
there.
Yep.
Got a near 5-pounder.
There we go.
There.
Okay. And you notice the time, 9:45.
Stars are applying.
Are popping it.
to-
Yes. Where the stars are applying their skills.
Other person that walked in on that situation with Casey Ashley was Willie Young from the Bears.
Yeah, that's right.
Never phased him.
No. He just,
Never phased him.
yeah. He was looking for his brother.
Yep.
Come on, Spook, you don't have to catch all every leaf in there.
Oh. Puppy goes potty.
You missed it. Where was that? About 12 feet back in there.
I'd say you missed.
Yeah.
Some light rain
You need
there.
some help on your radar, buddy.
As predicted moments ago.
What do you think Rick Clunn would have done if he'd have walked in on that cage situation?
He would have
Let's move.
said he rejects that. And rightly so, he would have said that. He rejects that as a standard of behavior.
Well, you know, we've had high points and low points. Chad Morgan Taylor,
Understatement.
Bassmaster Live. Where the dreams become illusions and illusions become realities of the players at the day.
It's been a pretty interesting morning so far. I think that my thought process was right on track. I mean, I haven't flipped very much today. maybe 10, 20 minutes, and I put the bait in cover in the areas where fish, and I haven't had the first bite. I have, however, had several bites on this. A good bit of them off it. I've got, haven't even practiced. If I can get underneath this may be a chore.
Trying to hang with Chad Morgenthaler here, missing a little bit of audio. Again, it's just going to clear up as soon as he, maybe as soon as he gets under that walkway there. Good pictures of Rick Clunn all morning long.
Absolutely.
And seen some good stuff too.
It's like perfect bass fishing weather, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, humid.
Just fantastic.
Again, we're not going to get up to 90 degrees today. Maybe
Not supposed
83
to.
or 84.
Okay.
So, but it'll be plenty sticky anyway. How about Rick Clunn laying out all the secrets to success with a spinnerbait to start our show off with today?
Very interesting. Really interesting stuff.
That's
if you're
worth
just
playing
joining
back,
us.
huh?
Yeah. I mean, he said some stuff. What he said about a willow leaf blade spinnerbait was amazing. He said it is a great spinnerbait, a number spinnerbait, but it has ruined a lot of folks because it's not a big fish spinnerbait predominantly. Something that you get a lot of bites on. He said the beauty of the spinnerbaits that he really plies is water displacement blades, where the blade on the spinnerbait he's throwing, it's what he calls a long drop blade, and really what that is, gang, is it's a combination of a Indiana, little bit of a Colorado, and a willow leaf. And he said that blade is so critical, not a numbers gig, but catches quality. And almost everything he's weighed in has come on that spinnerbait. But to see a guy do that in a tournament that has been not dominated, I mean destroyed by the flippers. I mean, they have owned this event.
Yeah.
To make the top 12 solely doing that is, to me, amazing. And doing it in the water that these guys are flipping.
Go over to the blog, you'll see that Card is using the Topwater, and Hot Defoe is using this. He's cranking for his fish.
Well, if you would have said, just out of the blue, that how about a guy that's fished every era of professional bass fishing, every decade throughout its 50 years, is still going to be a factor in this day and age? You'd say you're crazy. No, not at all. Rick Clunn, a huge factor here in 2016, as he has been since back in the 70s. Four Bassmaster Classics.
Hey,
James River, Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
and we talked about it earlier in the broadcast. If you're kind of just tuning in, you looked at what this guy did down at the St. Johns River in Lake George. Again, what he's done his whole career, going against the grain, doing stuff other anglers are not doing. But I mean this, no joke, no joke. He made the comment last night, this day off, this Saturday was critical of the wall of fatigue that guy hit, basically fishing for the last 15 to 17 days. I'll live by this. That dude is a monster.
Absolutely.
He is an absolute monster.
still going, not just competing, I mean going for the wins.
We have yet another angler. Yet another angler. We have had the gun show today so far with guests. We have had Mike Iaconelli. We have had Kevin Van Dam. The gun show. And yet the hits keep rolling.
What are you talking about?
I'm just telling you.
Someone else coming up?
Somebody, I think, is making it the BassFest to the players, the rise
Where
of
the
the
plays
Phoenix.
rise of the players to the thing?
The rise of the lichens. What?
Okay, now you've
Sorry.
shaken me. All right, I can't wait to find out who's next. I mean, we've had Iaconelli, Kevin
This angler
Van
liked
Dam.
the Bad Puppy Go Potty video.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he also has the mind of a fifth grader.
That doesn't narrow it down too much for us there. I'm sorry.
That's well
You're going to have
done.
to get a little more
Well
specific.
played.
Brandon must not done any good there this morning. He usually stays on it most of the day.
And I think the angler that we're going to have up, I think you and I need to kind of, I hate to say it, I think we need to be motivational coaches.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. There's another clue.
Need to get him on track.
Okay.
Maybe rough talk him a little.
Rough talk, a little bit of rough talk. Talk about what Iaconelli said. Sometimes you just remember how to catch him again. What triggers that memory?
Just
what
saying.
triggers that memory? I don't know who you're talking about.
No,
yet, but
you'll see.
I think we can apply
Because I'll
some of
get
those
excited.
principles. Okay.
That line must have been wrapped, so it slowed down the rate of fall on that jig. Ooh, it was. I thought one done slipped up there and got it.
We are getting word, gang, real quick. We got bad service, especially with the storms coming in. Swindle, not catching giants, but making slow upgrades right now. Such, maybe we can get an unofficial weight with him. But making a few calls here in the last few minutes. Bassmaster Live, BassFest, the rise of the lichens. What?
What
I
are
don't
you
know.
saying?
I don't know. Doesn't
What-
matter.
what are you even
Doesn't
saying?
even matter, dude.
Well,
doesn't matter.
Okay. Enough said.
I know the food is. I saw it a while ago when we came up here.
Mm-hmm.
Where's them 9-pounders at?
9-pounder make a big difference at this point in the game.
It doesn't.
As we see how tight things have gotten. Casey Ashley now in 5th place. The top 8 within 3 pounds of each other, basically 3.5 pounds.
Most events we cover, it makes sense.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, every time that jig goes in that bush, I just see that whole bush. I guess that's what keeps me driving it in there. You know, the deal is, it's just a lot of repetitive casting, you know. I really ain't having to fish the bait much, you know, to get bit. It's just, you just have to put it in so many places. I mean, really today is just about like normal. It ain't like you catch 2 or 3 leading up to a good one, you know. That good one will just be on the deal by itself. And they typically are on something just a hair different, maybe not majorly different, but you know, just like that one was on a bush bite that was kind of isolated. Or see that bush sticking out in front of us, something like that. Or a piece sticking out like, you know. Something a channel or something gets close to.
Acme with that good fish in the past 30 minutes, changing his look for the day.
No doubt about it,
pounder.
Brad.
That was some good stuff there. Plenty of good stuff on the way, that's for sure. We haven't even talked to Dave Mercer yet. Dave's
We'll
also...
hold our guest till after Mercer.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
We can
Special
keep him
person
at
watching
bay.
our show today. He's going to be up with the Cajun Baby. Cliff Crochet, we're going to get a good interview coming up there. Dave Mercer and more when we return to BassFest.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
The competition is fierce and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package, including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The classic and each individual elite event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at BassmasterFantasy.com.
Live coverage of the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts, will return after this short break.
29 pounds, 3 ounces! Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lawrence winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the Ultimate Upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha VMAX SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke Predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. VMAX SHO. The pack is growing.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
If you love bass fishing, then show your support by joining B.A.S.S. today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S. has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing.
Hey, baby.
With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S. cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
Fest jumping into hour 3. Well into hour 3 of our Bassmaster Live coverage from Lake Texoma. That's been the scenes we've been looking at all week long. This massive amount of water flushing out of this giant reservoir here on the border between Texas and Oklahoma. Gerald Swindle started the day in second place. Got just a slight lead. We're talking about the rise of Brandon Card coming up here.
BassFest what?
Yes, the rise of Brandon Card for now.
Exactly right.
Yes, exactly so. Brandon Card coming in there. Solid all week. Brandon Card's been having a great tournament. Nobody's denying his right to jump right up there and challenge for the lead. We got a lot of fishing left to go. So much fishing left to go. So many guys. And you've been hinting about yet another big-time star who's tuning in to Bass Live today. Has offered to become a part of the ceremony, part of the festivities here.
Can I
come on? Lay it out.
Can I introduce him?
Please.
My guy.
What?
We have a Brent Ayler on the line right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Brent, are you with us, friend?
I'm here, buddy. How are you?
Oh, we're doing okay. And Brent, real quick.
Yes.
This was a tournament where we have the Such in studio where people were telling us that, oh my gosh, if you catch 10 pounds a day here, you're going to potentially be in the top 20, correct, Such?
Oh, yeah. We lose them. We were wondering about that, if people were sandbagging or if it was really that difficult to fishery when they were practicing.
Brent, you did exactly that, catching over 10 pounds a day, yet as we look at the standings, did not make the top 50. Talk about your thoughts coming into this event.
You know, I knowing what the water was doing, I thought it was going to be a lot tougher than what it ended up being. It was very tough. I think what we had is that water was coming up really fast. And not only coming up really fast, but, you're watching these guys and you're seeing the stuff that they're fishing, but think about 2 more feet of water, or 3 more feet of water on what these guys are fishing. And that's what we had. It spreads those fish out so much, and it was difficult. Well, what happened on the second day of practice is it finally crested. It stopped coming up. And then about the last afternoon or the last day of practice is when it started, finally started to push out. Well, anytime that water pushes out like that, it slides those fish that are up and in all the flooded cover to that outside edge where guys, where they're actually accessible to the guys. And so, it started getting better. But had the tournament been a couple days earlier, it would have been that 10 pounds a day would have been way up there. So we're seeing some changes here, and my guess is the fishing would only get better a little bit later, in the week as well.
Brent, every now and then, throughout an 11-year span, Tommy has had to, quote unquote, coach me up here in studio. No, you have. You've had to sit me down.
You're the one man who doesn't need
He's
coaching.
one of the best motivators ever. Something we see in the Angler of the Year standings that you and I've talked about outside of the events is this has not been a usual Brent Ehrler year. Talk about your season, and if you need to talk with Tommy right now.
No, this has not been a great year. It's one I'm going to remember, but not in a good way. It's just one of those seasons where I have seemed to kind of do everything wrong. You think you're making the right decisions. I think what I'm doing is overthinking and trying to outsmart everything, and I'm outsmarting myself and not doing the right things. I've had opportunities. It's not something that I've just completely missed it. I've been up there in the top, 20 for a couple of events, and then just had a disastrous second day. Well, this tournament was kind of just an average go out there and just catch fish and come in and go home.
Well, Brent, let me ask you this. Now, is there a mindset? Is there a mindset among all the West Coast anglers? Is when you don't, as we did have last year, have a couple of events out there on the West Coast that you're starting from a position of disadvantage just a little bit, or is that something you even consider when you look at the schedule for a new year?
I didn't even consider that because I look at last year and some of my better events were not on the West Coast.
Right.
My highest finish last year was at Gunnersville, I think, and then I had another high finish at the Chesapeake Bay, which to me was one of the toughest fisheries I think that we've ever been to. And I'd never been there before. It's kind of an odd place to fish, and it happened to be one of my better finishes. So it doesn't really matter where you go. You look at guys that go to places that they really know and they don't catch them. So some of my best finishes have been on places I've never been to before. So I really don't think that has anything to do with it. What I think is that you look at the fishing and you look who's up there and catching them right now, Hackney and Swindle. It's that type of year. It's that shallow, just put a flipping stick in your hand and go. And for me, going to a place like Toledo Bend or Lake Wheeler, when you have lots of options, I tend to try and, do something, like you go to Toledo Bend and I go, man, I got to go fish out. And you go and fish out and you don't catch them. So then you go, well, shoot, now I got to go fish in. And you go and fish in and you don't catch them. You go, well, then I better go back out again. You're constantly going back and forth. Where you take a guy like Hackney and he just picks up his flipping stick with his jig and goes, I'm going to go flip these bushes. And he could have done that from day one in this tournament all the way through, and or not tournament, but the entire season. And you look at these guys, and really, you could survive this entire year with one rod in your hand, that flipping stick, and do well. And it's just that get up there, get in, high water, shallow water, and do it all season long.
That's really interesting because we talked about that on day one of Bassmaster Live, that this is one of those seasons where you don't have all those voices in your head saying, I need to do this, I need to do that. They're catching them this way, this way, this way, this way. You could kind of, for the shallow water guys, you could kind of lock your strength in your hand. I'm going to throw a different question to you, Brent, and we have so many phenomenal anglers that have come over in the last few years from FLW, whether it's Jason Christie or Randall Tharp, yourself. Just it goes on and on and on, and Porosnik. And I'm really curious of this. Do you have to approach these differently? Now that you've been in it basically for a year and a half, is it a different mindset, or is it the same exact thing, or totally polar opposite?
No, it's the same thing. There's really, at the end of the day, you have to go out and find fish and go catch them. I think that the more you think about it and the more you try to change, the worse off you're going to be. I think you just need to go out and do what you need to do and go and catch them. The field is stacked more so now than it has ever been in the past. I really believe that. I haven't fished bass in the past, but you look at the field now. I honestly believe that this is the toughest field that we have ever seen in the history of bass fishing. So it is getting tougher, but all said and done, we can all compete. And it's just a matter of going out there and figuring it out and doing it. It's just all you have to do is find the fish. It's really not that hard. I mean, we can all cast and we can all catch fish. It's just a matter of finding them and actually getting them in the boat.
We're going to Cayuga next, which, correct me if I'm wrong, you've not been to Cayuga, but you're going to put some time in on a lake nearby just to get a feel for what the fish are doing. Talk about your game plan for the next few days. This is something for you, Such. Nude, and nugget.
Yeah, it's, I don't have time to go home. It's a 20-hour drive up to Cayuga. My family, my wife and son are coming out on Friday, this coming Friday, to hang out with me over Father's Day. So I don't have time to go home. So I'm going to run up and fish a couple lakes up in the area. To be honest with you, I'm looking back at the last few years. I don't think I've gone fun fishing since 2010. And I'm thinking about that.
So wait, say that again. Say that again for everybody at home. Say that again.
I have not gone fun fishing since 2010.
So you're saying then, Brent Ayler, that trip with Mark Zona out there catching those big spots?
Yeah, that had to be fun.
What are you talking about, Zach?
That was for work. That's for a show, right?
Exactly. It was for a show. Now, had we done that without cameras, yeah, that would have been, a different story. Believe me, I'm not saying that wasn't fun. Let me backstep here a little bit. That was an absolute blast. Something that I will always remember. But see, we didn't do that without any cameras. We need to go up there and do it without cameras. We'll probably catch a world record.
Oh, we'll do it on a different boat, a lake near my house without cameras, friend. And not only that, Tommy, he did invite me to go to Chautauqua this week with him.
Okay.
But I'm headed the other way. I'm going to Lake Fork this week. I would love to have head up north and done a little large boat. Here's the thing. What you told me a few years ago, when I got out of whack here in studio for that, it was about an 8-month span. Am I right?
Yeah, something like that.
8-month span.
Yeah, it was difficult.
You told me to stay within myself and not try to do so much.
Quit swinging for the fences,
What
would you?
can you give one of my favorite pros ever in the history of the day of the sport? What can you give him? You got me out of my funk. Yeah, go ahead.
Two things. Here we go.
I love this. You're like Bill Belichick right now.
Two things.
Yes.
Two things. Okay. Last year. Let's concentrate on last year. Brent Ayler.
Yeah.
What a year. You among other things, you established yourself as possibly one of the greatest rookies of all time.
Totally did.
And number two, it's going to take to go from 40 on the bubble for the classic cut. You could do it in one tournament. Get back there in the top 20 in the points. All right, that's it. Those are my two things. Brent Ayler, thank you so much for joining us here. Always a pleasure to talk to you. Hey, we're going somewhere else right now. We're going to a totally different place. I just don't know where it is.
Love Brent Ayler. Dude, you coached him up, I think, right there.
I think we gave him what I had.
You were like Gene McElroy from the Packers right there. Who? What's that coach's name? How about moments ago, Chad Morgan-Taylor? Good stuff from Ben Ayler. Just moments ago, BassFest, the stars are shining. And actually, right before this fish, Morgan-Taylor caught a couple keepers, not giants, but getting the buzzbait going now. Different day, man.
Hey.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, having a little bit of trouble with our pictures there, but some interesting developments, to say the least. And again, I keep thinking of those words of Michael Iaconelli. Someone makes a bait change, things start to happen.
And not only that, dude, now there's a lot of people chiming in on what Brent Ayler said, that he doesn't fun fish. I thought doing Zona Show was fun.
Yeah, I think that was a shot across your bow. What are you doing?
We got a Karen Zona that just texted, and she just said,
you don't have to be
what
that close
about
to
when
read
Brent went fishing on our pontoon last year? Hey, dude.
Not fun either,
Evidently
apparently.
not.
No. Okay.
Wow. Did we just break up?
Yeah, I think so.
Did we have a breakup here?
Let's talk about having fun. Let's talk about Dave Mercer. Last night I'm sitting home. We have to do it from the Toyota Bassmaster studio. We didn't get to go to BassFest.
No.
Dave Mercer sends us a little picture
from
him living it up at the Huey Lewis and the News concert. I texted him back. I said, I'm sitting here drinking a Slurpee, watching old Who's the magician from Canada?
Oh, the OJ thing, 30 for 30?
No. I'm
Sorry.
watching, what's his name?
Doug Henning.
Doug Henning VHSs, and he's living it up there. He's living it up. Dave Mercer.
Real quick, what was in the cup, Jack? What'd you have in the cup?
What's that?
What was in the cup at the Huey Lewis with your little cowboy hat? You had a little mixer there. Little mixer.
I was replenishing because I've been hanging out here in the POP. The
Pedialyte.
The pain
it was a sports
here.
drink. It was a sports drink.
Pedialyte right there.
What do you got for us, Dave?
Nothing, guys. Back to you.
We'll see you. Thank you, Dave Mercer, right there from BassFest.
Great to hang out with
2016.
you guys. No, obviously, Championship Sunday. Obviously, you guys have been following the action all day long here, and for the first time in this tournament, we have an absolute, totally different weather conditions than we've had. I mean, still very, very hot down here and muggy today, but with this system moving through, all the anglers at takeoff this morning predicted things are really going to change. The one angler that a lot of people talked about saying, watch out for him, was Rick Clunn. Because, I mean, he made it clear on stage yesterday, or at least we think he made it clear. He said he was catching his fish on a moving bait. He was catching his fish on a spinner bait. And actually, a unique moment in this tournament was when Greg Hackney actually asked him how he was catching those fish and interviewed him on the stage with me. And he said he was catching them on a spinnerbait. And a lot of guys said, boy, if this weather sets up right for Rick Clunn, this could be crazy. But as we've seen so far today, the conditions have really changed this bite. That extra day off the water, I got to believe, is proving a little bit more frustrating for our anglers. Chad Morgan-Taylor hooked up right now. Chad Morgan-Taylor with another fish in the boat, and as you can see, throwing a buzzbait. Unique part about that is one of his good buddies, Gerald Swindle. I don't know if he's taken a page out of his playbook or if Swindle took a page out of Chad's playbook, but basically, as you remember on day 3, Swindle went into an area he had never fished, ever been to, throwing a buzzbait, said he just had a feeling and hooked up with some key fish. But back to my original story, as we look double box right now, Greg Hackney and Rick Clunn, a unique moment on the stage yesterday. We had our top 6 up for an interview, and one of the things that was pretty unique is Greg Hackney basically took over the show. Greg Hackney started interviewing Rick Clunn and asked him very specific questions on how he was catching the fish, and Rick Clunn talked about using that moving bait, and a lot of anglers this morning said, boy, with this cloud cover and with this front, Rick Clunn, that spinnerbait could be very, very scary, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. But once again, on the water right now, live with Greg Hackney, your Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year leader, and Rick Clunn. The question is, Rick Clunn motivated millions, inspired millions at the St. Johns River. Could you imagine? Could you imagine if lightning actually strikes twice here this year, and Rick Clunn, after an incredibly long drought in the win column, added win number 15 and could have his eye on win number 16 here today. And a unique part about that, and I think you guys may have talked about it, is Rick Clunn, one of the very few blunders that he has made in his career happened right here on Texoma. And basically, he was within sight of the ramp and miscalculated what time check-in was, thought it was a little later than it was, and lost that tournament many, many years ago. So he should have 16 wins at this point. Well, could he get that 16th win back here today on the very same water that he feels he lost that 16th win? Rick Clunn obviously trying to get to that 33rd Bassmaster Classic. Already has the record, 32-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier, and everybody has talked about it a lot. Rick Clunn, an historic history he has on Lake Conroe, the site of our 2017 Geico Bassmaster Classic. Basically, that's where he started his career. That's where he was a guide for years and years. And so many people said, how cool would it be to have Rick back in the Classic on Lake Conroe, a body of water that he's probably more synonymous with than anything else. I talked to Rick Clunn about that, and Rick Clunn said, well, be careful, because he said, when I was on Conroe, when I was a guide, it was an entirely different lake. He said that lake has totally changed. It was a much more of a grass lake back then, and not now. Rick Clunn, and take that with a grain of salt, because I mean, all these guys, it's similar to, you know, the Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year race. You start talking to them about it, and they'll all say the same thing. I'm not thinking about it. Not thinking about it. All of them, except for one of the guys we're watching right now, Greg Hackney. Greg Hackney clearly has said, I think about it. He says, I don't think about it all the time. I only think about it when my eyes are open. So
hey, Dave.
How upset? Yes.
Dave, we're on the subject of Rick Clunn here. We talked to Brent Ayler. I don't know if you heard us talking to Brent just moments ago, and he was talking about how difficult it is, how hard it is to compete out here. I know you talk to the guys each and every day. I mean, what has got to be in their minds when you talk about, hey, here's a new season coming up, 9 more chances for you to win a Bassmaster Elite Series event, although, full disclosure, 2 of these events are going to belong to Rick Clunn and Kevin Van Dam. Those 2 guys have taken 2 of those. I mean, these guys are going to be saying, really? Really? Those guys are going to come back? I got to beat them as well. They're taking away wins from us. I mean, how remarkable is it that these 2 guys have jumped up and won again this year?
And you might as well throw Talk in that mix.
Sure.
Too. I mean,
there's another one, another Throwback Thursday.
And it really, you know, and I don't know if those guys would appreciate us calling it Throwback Thursday, but it really kind of is, Tommy. You know, in the way that you know, Talk. It's been a number of years. Rick, many years, and then obviously Kevin's cold patch, I guess let's call it. Which, I mean, it would be a career highlight for anybody like me. His worst season would be I'd be walking around strutting and limousine riding if I had a season like Kevin's worst season. But I think, you know, it's just it's like lakes. You know, lakes change, and this year, you know, has been a very different year on the Elite Series, and that's one of the things that I keep hearing from, especially a lot of the guys that have recently come over from the FLW Tour. I'll spend a lot of time talking to the guys, and I'll say, you know, what do you like about this circuit? And you do hear a lot of, I'm challenging myself, but one of the number one things I hear is, I like how it's very different every year. The Elite Series hasn't got stuck in that you go to the same lakes at the same time every year. And this year, we went to a lot of different lakes, but we also went to a lot of different lakes that also were fishing very different because of the conditions. You know, obviously dealing with flooded water at a lot of our venues, and it obviously worked out well for them. But I mean, I'll tell you right now, one of the least likely jobs that I would ever want in my life is to compete on the Elite Series. I mean, you look at, like you said, Tommy, you look at the group of anglers that, you know, we're always kind of looking at, and then you put Rick Clunn back in that mix, and it's a scary setup. It's not the easiest business transaction, let's put it that way.
Dave, we're
watching Casey.
Were a lot of the anglers pleasantly surprised on how the fishing's been here on Texoma from at least the beginning of the week? From what you gauged yesterday at BassFest Seminar Day.
Day of seminars.
Seminar extravaganza.
Yes, sir.
Spectacular seminar extravaganza. 100% right. And all of the anglers have told me they were very shocked at how well it's fishing. Going into this event, I'll be honest, I had talked to several anglers that literally told me they believed 5 to 7 pounds a day. 5 to 7 pounds a day is all it would take to make the 50 cut. Well, obviously after day number 1, it was over 10 pounds, so they were way off on that. But all the anglers have said they were shocked at how well this area is fished. And when we went into this event, a lot of us kind of saw the pictures of the watercolor and how high it was and thought, you know, that might make it a little tricky on these guys. A lot of the locals have told me, hey, thankfully that water's that high, because the fishing was actually better because of that. The weights were actually higher because of that. And to contradict that, a lot of the local pros told me, I hate that it's high. Every advantage we had coming into this event as a local angler just got taken away because the water's so high, and it kind of just evens the playing field.
Well, it kind of falls in line with the way it's turned out. No Edwin Evers, no Jeff Crete in the top 12, and yeah, they knew what they were talking about. Obviously, Dave, thank you so much. I'm gonna.
He needs to dig up that Angel Cajun baby. Go ahead,
Bing
Serge. What do you
Bong,
got?
Brandon Card, 3-pound, 4-ounce fish He should be taking the lead.
Wow.
Brandon Card.
Brandon
on
Card
top.
just unofficially took the lead.
Man, oh man. Dave, thank you so much. Yeah. See if we can find that Cajun baby. We promised
Wouldn't
the fans
you have
a visit.
loved to gone to Huey Lewis with that guy right there?
I would love to. Yeah,
Are
wear
you
that
kidding
hat.
me?
I could have worn the hat
That's
for a little
power
bit.
love.
To be square.
It is hip to be square. You were having a good time out there. Dave Mercer, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be running the weigh-in, big time weigh-in. The biggest weigh-in of the week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time here on Bassmaster.com. If you're in the area there, you're down in the Metroplex, get on the highway.
We need to
get on
find a
up there.
Bowman, see if Bowman can't get on Brandon Card and just see what we can do.
Let's get it going. We got plenty of experts in the field.
Well, there's a pH level and there's sour leaves and see what we can do out there. Hey, highlights this morning. It has been a fantastic day of Bassmaster Live BassFest with the rise of the lichens. Taking a look at it. I don't know. I don't even know.
Stop.
I have no idea what I'm saying.
Rick Clunn, good fish in the boat. Gerald Swindle just hanging in there just as tight as he possibly can. Looking for that first win. That's a big story. That is a huge story if he wins an Elite Series event
No
here
doubt.
this week. I mean, we can't take our eyes off Gerald Swindle. Can't take our eyes off of Chad Morgenthaler. He's moved himself up into third place.
Look at that bite.
Still in there.
Look at that. Eric Kafka, cameraman. Well done, friend.
Casey Ashley sitting on one fish. That's our leader to start this day, but we know plenty of fishing time left. But look at the young man from the state of Kentucky.
Wow.
Out here for about 4 or 5 years
And
now,
as
coming
we
out of
said,
college.
That is a bad dude. Yeah, I'm telling you, Brandon Card, one of the best on the Elite Series.
All the respect
You
for
can
that guy
ask
right
his
there.
competition.
You don't think he could pull off a win right here, his first win as well, the Bassmaster Elite Series. We got a lot more for you. We're going to take a quick break, come back to Lake Texoma. Don't go away.
Due to this high water, you flipping any picnic tables, bathrooms, tractors?
You named all of them right there. Picnic tables and bathrooms, road signs. I took a picture of a speed limit sign. You name it, I think everything's available cover at this point.
Yeah, a lot of dirty water, a lot of high water.
I've seen some little houses in the water. I'm not quite sure what they are. They look like goat boxes. I ain't sure what they are yet, but
What's the strongest pattern? Is it goat boxes or picnic tables?
on them goat boxes pretty hard to beat because you don't find many of them.
I think this is a weird deal. You know, this is not something that's normal. There's a lot of weird stuff to fish out there. Basketball goals, picnic tables, dishwashers, and things like that. But I flipped a dead hog, and I can't say I've done that many times before.
Toilet. It's actually not a toilet, it was a bathroom. And right below the man and woman signs was the water line.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
Tournament days, it's funny. I wake up in the morning and nothing else matters except where and when my first bite of the day is going to come. And we have so much going on in a tournament, getting gear ready, in and out of the truck and the boat, prep and tackle, all that kind of stuff. And probably one of the most favorite pieces of gear or equipment that I've got is my ARE Z Series cap, ARE's premier model, and it's easy to see why.
He's fished here for decades. He knows every hump, every drop-off, every contour. He's dedicated his entire life to understanding this single body of water, and he didn't know squat about it until 2 hours ago. AutoChart Live lets you build your own high-definition maps anywhere in the world in real time. Only from Humminbird.
30, 29, 28, tick, tock. 25 years old, and you're still playing in the mud. 15 feet in the air, that's where you feel most alive. 10 meter maids waiting to wallpaper your truck. Better get out of town. 5, 4, 3, The all-new Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
The competition is fierce and the prizes are huge. The only thing missing is you. Fantasy Fishing presented by Toyota. Sign up for free and face fans from across the nation. Grand prize winner receives a Triton Yamaha package including a Triton 189 TRX. MSRP of $37,293. The classic and each individual elite event winner will receive $2,500 Bass Pro Shops gift cards, with the runner-up receiving a GoPro Hero 4 black camera. Sign up and pick your team today at bassmasterfantasy.com.
Come on now.
That one right there.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to bassmaster.com.
Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more.
You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
When we started today at BassFest 2016 here on Lake Texoma, the thought, I think everyone had a thought in the back of their mind, we shouldn't really predict, we really shouldn't prognosticate.
But we did.
But we did. That's our
Right.
job. I mean, we have to do it.
Even Kevin
we-
Van Dam said, this is really a kind of a 3 to maybe 4 horse race. But oh no! No! Look what's going on over here right now.
Yeah, Mr. Brandon Card. We talk about the guy that comes up with a 5-pounder, the 6-pounder on today. Well, he's the guy that's done it already. He had a ways to come up, so you can't really say he's running away with it. But he has put himself right in the thick of it as we take a look at our Day 2 leader, Greg Hackney. Second place, Gerald Swindle, right there on the right.
Man, look at those weights.
You know what? I'm gonna run back down there to where I caught the good one and start right there and fish down. It don't go too much farther past that, just to make sure that the end ain't the, it's just freaking, it's like I'm just practicing before we run out here. That fish was so clean looking, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like it was fresh. Didn't look like something had been hanging out in them bushes.
Always fun to watch Hackney. He doesn't hold back any secrets. You know what his strategy is moment to moment when he's out there. He knows what the folks are looking for. You talk about Brandon Carden, you just can't say, no, he's not. He's not distanced himself from the field, especially when you consider the potential, the headroom that Casey Ashley has. With one fish in the boat, every fish he gets goes right to the top, right to the bottom line, and long way from
right.
done
I
here.
mean, you get Casey Ashley or Hackney with a couple swings of the bat, and you'll see it. What else do you want on the last day where you have
a really good lake.
bunch of leaderboard changes?
He's had a 30-pound bag and caught a 12-pounder out of it. Yeah. like a 30-pound bag during a tournament in recent, in the last couple of years. And caught the 12. He caught the late record, 12, 15 or something. I don't know, it's a giant, Yeah, it's high right now, but it was also full of deep hydrilla. That's the reason it's, before these floods, the whole lake was full of grass. And he said before that time, it was terrible. But a couple years of that grass, it really, yeah, because it's just like this lake here. You take this extra water out of it, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's nothing. Everything out there is just barren. It doesn't have the cover in it, to really have a huge fish population, but they've had 2 years of this, so that's really had to help it. And it seems to be plenty small fish, so they've had a good spawn last year before. And I just got I was like, I sure came over here and got that bite pretty quick, and I ain't fished any of this. Just take them all.
All right. Taking a look at that unofficial leaderboard right there. Brandon Card just upgraded yet again.
Yeah, he caught a 4-pound 4-ouncer after his 3-4 and that 4-12 earlier today.
Okay.
So he's up near right at 17.
Okay. So we have him unofficially at 60 pounds, about a 4-pound lead over Gerald Swindle now. Wow.
He started the day 8-pound, 14 ounces behind Ashley.
Out of nowhere. Boy,
6th place.
Try to get as much info as we can potentially here in the next hour on what it looks like he's throwing a topwater. From
yes,
some of the
blog reports said he was Topwater. His highest, he's been 58 tournaments in B.A.S.S. He has not had a top 3, but he's had a 4th,
right,
and a 5th.
Did very well at
Oneida,
and St. Lawrence River last year.
Mm-hmm.
But if you listen to his competitors, just not somebody we've covered a lot on Bassmaster Live, you listen to Brandon Card's competitors, they will tell you, dude can catch them.
Oh, yeah. And when a guy does well at the St. Lawrence River and also at the Sabine River, I mean, he had a great tournament down there a few years back, too. I mean, he's got a pretty good grounding in how to fish a bass tournament.
Take a look at where Brandon Card's at. Not that far from Casey Ashley. A lot of our anglers have been concentrating on Glasses Creek this week. I believe that's the name of it, Such. Glasses.
Yeah.
Just had a big and hit that frog right there.
Little Mineral Creek, Morgan Theater, in a place called Catfish
Two
Creek.
little old bushes on this point. Both of them had a good fish in it, and I've got to execute now. That's going to be the key the rest of the day, is that outside bush all day. What it was. Everything else is too aggressive, dude. This fish right here ought to bite now. He got all over that frog.
God, that like to scare me to death. That line hung that limb and it pulled like there was one running with it, and I almost unloaded on it.
That's key right there, 'cause both that fish was a bit of frog and this one bit of frog. I think we can do some frogging a little bit and see if we can get some old big Mr. Big to buy. Sometimes that topwater bite can be so subtle there. You would think he would want all kind of racket and noise. But
Four flips. Yeah, I think about that. I'm like, that sounds good. It sure ain't never as easy as it sounds. It always happens in four. Yeah, it always happens in 4,000. 4,000 is a magic number. I don't, especially not making long casts, like fishing like I'm fishing, it's probably amazing how many casts. I don't know how many it is, but it's a lot.
bush right here should be it.
Yeah, fish bit good. I mean, just like it was supposed to. Caught that jig falling. I mean, it bit hard. I jumped on it hard. I can't even remember exactly how it felt no more than it wouldn't even know hesitation. You know what I'm saying? Like it was one of them kind of, just as I went to ease up on that line, I swung. I could tell. It was guaranteed that there was one on there. And I could tell by the way he was hooked. He ate it. You know, he didn't. You know, and that's that deal that makes you think, well, you just got to put it in front of one, you know, because but that's what we'll do. We'll fish this out and then we'll just run up the lake and go fishing.
About half of them got it as soon as it went in today, so that tells you they sitting in top of that bush, they just ain't chasing nothing. That frog may be just subtle enough to make him get show enough crazy.
You could see down, you know, if you look real close, you could see 2 foot.
think we're about 2 or 3 coming to get there. Are the right ones. We'll be shitting in high cotton.
Nobody said anything, Gerald. We're good on that one.
You feel like the safety is going to come off at any second.
And yeah, I mean that's where you sit there holding your
with
breath.
with both of them. Now there's some rumors going on out on the water right now that actually we're going to try to. We've got a couple guys getting with. I believe Ron Moore is out on the water with Brandon Card.
Yeah, getting closer.
As soon as we can get them online,
get a phone connection established. We're going to get some more intel on that particular situation right there. The man who's leading the tournament by 4 pounds right now.
Wow.
Brandon Card.
I think Ron Moore's been literally been on the road for the last 54 days covering.
I think so.
I really do.
I think so. I think he gets to FaceTime the folks at home once every week. He's allowed to do it once a week.
Oh, is that it?
Ronnie, can you hear us? Ronnie Moore.
Yes, sir. How are you, Tommy?
Good, man. What are you seeing out there? We got a guy in the lead, and you're on him, so let us know what's going on.
We just, we were...
Oh, no. No. He's in a rough area, guys. As soon as we get some better cell coverage, we'll get back out to Ron Moore, who's with Brandon Card. Double Box Bassmaster Live, Greg Hackney, Gerald Swintle.
Bassmaster blog, of course, if you're the things we're not seeing on Bassmaster Live, you can dig up a few of those nuggets right there.
Oh, yeah.
A bit of Jordan Lee. Started the day pretty good. Had some solid, smaller catches to get his day going and get close to a limit in the
Randall
boat.
Tharp with caught a giant bass on day 3. But
that was a good one. Big bass of the day, was it not?
Really interesting that this whole day, Bradley Roy's had a really solid event. Had a solid year so far.
Yeah, Bradley Roy is one of your guys this year.
Dean Rojas, nice one right there. The interesting thing is that, Brandon Card kind of, look at that.
Oh, there's Brandon Card right there.
Started off as the hunter and now the hunted in this tournament.
Yeah, there you go. And Brandon, you say, and so did Such, that the speculation is he's catching him on Topwater. You get Ron Moore hooked up here, and we'll know for sure.
Every single one of the photos I looked at. That's the biggest turn of the event. By far.
No doubt.
And where is Casey Ashley today?
One fish.
Oh my
Stuck on
gosh.
one fish, which, big potential there, but you don't want to be stuck there too long.
Let's try Ronnie one more time.
Ronnie, let's see if we can hang on to that connection for a little bit there. You were just about to tell us the scoop on what Brandon Card's doing.
Brandon Carr has been throwing a topwater bait right now. It looks like a troubled topwater, like a spook or something.
No. No, just
very frustrating. It's going to have to remain a mystery for now. Our best hope may be for Brandon to change positions a little bit. Sometimes even the slightest change can put you in a better place to get a phone call through, or even pictures as we're looking at.
I don't see him leaving that area personally.
I mean, I don't think a big move is in the cards anywhere, but just maybe turn a corner.
Just got a blog in from Thomas Allen that Card and Swindle are fishing a stretch about 100 yards apart.
Wow.
Both fishing topwaters. 1 and 2 in the tournament.
A few minutes ago, Swindle sat down, sorted his rods, and put a bunch back into the locker.
Well, they darn. Clunn back. He's had a limit for a while now. Rick Clunn, limit 10 pounds, thereabouts, according to Bass Track. Oh, again, we have to say this at least one time.
Yes,
per show.
please do.
Hey, this is not, that's not official.
No.
Bass Track is not official.
It's not.
Such, back me up on that.
Yeah, it's not official.
Thank you.
No.
I have the map, and I saw Card was across the lake from Clunn, and now he's right next to Swindle.
Oh.
We're not going to quit on Ronnie Moore.
No.
We never quit. We're not going to leave a man behind.
We're stubborn now.
He doesn't
Ronnie,
quit on us.
Let's try it one more time. Give it a go.
Just start talking.
Hey guys, Brandon Card's out here catching. It looks like a lot of fish on the topwater bait. It looks like a spook, a walking style trebled bait right now. But we just saw him catch a 2.5 pounder, and he unhooked it and immediately threw it right back. So he's probably got a lot of the same size fish in there. I did see him earlier catch a pretty decent one. I mean, it has to be over 3.5, probably 3.5 pounder through the trees when we were covering Casey Ashley. So he's making it happen with topwater right now, and it's probably prime conditions for it with the cloudy skies and the rainy conditions. So what I was saying earlier was that he pulled into this creek, and Casey had came back from another spot, and we saw him through the trees, and Gerald Swindle ran around this point, pulled into the same creek as well, and they were basically fishing the same bank, and they both met each other and turned and went separate ways, and we just saw Swindle idle all the way back to the back of the creek, and now Brandon Card is making his way out to the main lake portion of it, kind of where Casey actually started his morning. This was the first spot Casey ran to from takeoff, so he's catching them on topwater, and that's probably got to be the most fun trip for a marshal right now on the final day with somebody who's catching them on topwater and has a chance to win. So it looks like he's unofficially in the lead, and based on the blog photos, it kind of backs up the Bass Track numbers for Brandon Card.
Yeah.
Ron.
Okay.
Ron, if you can, please describe where the bites are coming from on the topwater bait, please.
It's like right at any kind of hard point. We talked about a lot of these guys with the falling water, how these bushes will start to make a point, where there's like 5 or 6 willow bushes, but when the water's been dropping, it kind of makes like a triangle point, and it seems like right there, right on the edges of those points is where he's getting bit. But he's throwing this topwater bait around some pretty interesting cover. I mean, he's getting it into places that, when you get in a good casting groove and you're throwing it every place you shouldn't be throwing it, it looks like that's what Brandon Carr's doing right now, and he's just making it work through all this brush and all these flooded trees.
Ron, if you can, and this is for all of our friends online, if there's any
he
way.
Just had a blow up.
He just had a blow up?
Yeah, he just had a blow up but didn't get it. Keep going.
Ron, if there's any chance you could get us a picture of that bait in some way, shape, or form, I know it'll be hard. I could hear you snap, crackling away right there. If you can get any pictures of that bait, whatever you can do, we'll see what we can do.
Okay, I can definitely try to get those to you guys.
And Ron, another question: are we going to have some GoPro footage of Brandon Card's day today? Is that going to be available?
I believe so.
Good.
He has been fantastic this week on GoPro, showing fish off, talking about what he's doing, and even starting and stopping it for us because he's just been in a groove this week. So he's got one on him today, and God willing, everything's working right. I'm going to go over there and check in a couple minutes just to make sure that it's all rolling. So
yeah, Brandon Card.
Ronnie, sneak us a pic of that bait when you slide on over, if you know what I mean.
Brandon Card, one of the early adapters of the GoPro. And Ron, one more question, if you're still on there. Do you know if this is something he's been doing all week long, or is it just today he started both working this area and concentrating on Topwater?
Well, see, I saw him in a couple different areas on day 2, I believe it was. But, I've heard that a lot of these guys have been mixing it up. They're catching, 10 to 15 fish a day sometimes with 5 or 6 of them coming on different things. And so I know he's been flipping a lot this week, but I do know that he's been trying to switch it up. And I think that's why some of these, cluttered areas that he's been fishing with other boats around, that's probably why he's kind of risen to the top out of some of these areas. And now you can see on the Bass Track map where all these leaders are kind of like funneling into now, and they all have kind of their little areas within these big creeks. So I think he's been working it in for sure, but that would definitely be worth asking once I get close enough to him.
There was some great GoPro footage that was on .com last night of, I believe it was his second or third day, crushing them and just living with a flipping stick. I don't know if...
Yes, that was day 3 when we had the bright sunny skies. I mean, that's been like that all week. But I do know in the morning time, especially day 3 morning, we saw, I know David Williams caught a 5 and a 4 pounder in the first 5 minutes on Topwater. I know Gerald Swindle's big fish from day 1 came on a buzz bait. So there's been Topwater times, portions of it. But when that sun's gotten, above those trees and it's been soaking in those bushes, that's just been pushing all those fish into the thicker cover where the little bit of shade is probably, and that's why these flipping sticks have been the primary weapon for all these guys.
Okay,
Ronnie, thank you so much. I feel like we know a lot more about what's going on with Brandon Card, who has emerged as a big-time player.
Snatch us a pic if you can,
final
Ron.
Day. Get a picture of that bait, Ronnie. Thank you so much. Great work. We hope to talk to you here before too long. Thanks again.
Oh, great stuff from Ron.
Ronnie's always good. Ron takes care of us.
No, he
on
does.
a regular basis.
No, he does.
Oh, he fills in the blanks.
No doubt. Oh, I know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Ronnie just said Gerald Swindle just moved to the back of that creek where he's fishing. Start another round going through there, watching some Rick Clunn doing very well on this final day. Greg Hackney hanging in there. Chad Morgan-Taylor definitely not turning loose of this thing right there. But Brandon Card, the man of the hour, the past hour, that is for sure, with a couple in the 5-pound range in this past hour with some fireworks here on Lake Texoma.
The 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resort, is brought to you by Lowrance, Toyota, Berkeley, Triton Boats, and by GoPro.
Your choice of fishing apparel can make or break your day out on the water. Added mesh vents for superior breathability. Moisture transport cooling technology to keep you dry and comfortable. And antimicrobial to keep you from smelling like your catch. With added SPF to keep you protected. We've added stain release to keep the blood or any other stains at bay. Our most technologically advanced fishing shirt for all the necessary dirty work.
30, 29, 28, tick, tock. 25 years old, and you're still playing in the mud. 15 feet in the air, that's where you feel most alive. 10 meter maids waiting to wallpaper your truck. Better get out of town. 5, 4, 3. The all-new Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
The ultimate predator has evolved again. Now, Yamaha V-Max SHO Performance is prowling the waters in 4 hungry, exciting new models. With their 4 valves per cylinder and double overhead cam fuel-injected design, these advanced 4-stroke predators are taking performance to a whole new level. Vicious, lean, efficient. V-Max SHO. The pack is growing.
We were born to innovate, to find a better way. New Berkley hard baits. New designs. Trigger-loaded actions. Mind-blowing colors. Because everyone wants to catch more fish.
If you love bass fishing, then show your support by joining B.A.S.S. today. Since 1968, B.A.S.S. has been serving bass fishing enthusiasts with information and tournament coverage that make you a better angler. When you sign up today, you'll join over 500,000 outdoorsmen who love bass fishing.
Hey, baby.
With your membership, you'll receive every issue of Bassmaster magazine, plus $50 in free gear, including a membership tackle bag, B.A.S.S. cap, plus more. Call us or log on to Bassmaster.com to join Bass now.
29 pounds, 3 ounces!
Edwin Evers here, 2016 Bassmaster Classic champion. In celebration of Lowrance winning the last 5 Bassmaster Classics, we're going to extend the Ultimate Upgrade promo. If you buy an HDS Gen 3 with Structure Scan 3D, we're going to mail you a $300 rebate. 5 Bassmaster Classic champions in a row. That doesn't happen by chance. That happens because these units are the best.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com. Enter now for a chance to win a fishing trip with 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic champion Randy Howell. Trip includes airfare, hotel, rental car, and $500 cash, plus a Triton 17 TX bass boat with Mercury engine, and Randy's gear from Lowrance, Daiwa, Bass Pro Shops, and much more. You, the winner of a valuable prize, could be. All you have to do to get your shot is go to Bassmaster.com and enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
You're watching the 2016 Geico Bassmaster BassFest, presented by Choctaw Casino Resorts. Brought to you live by Humminbird.
Geico Bassmaster BassFest for 5 days now, better part of a week. Lake Texoma there have been the center of the bass fishing universe. A couple of weeks ago, it was definitely Toledo Bend, that broadcast of that Elite Series event on ESPN2. Sunday, July 3rd, the Sunday before the 4th, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Take it from Mark Zona.
What's that?
That's a good show.
Oh,
the Toledo
it's a wonderful show.
Fantastic show. Kevin Van Dam making the bass world happy with another win number 21. Will it be win number 1 for Brandon Carr? Oh, could be. Again, he begs the question, what happened to the guy who's led 2 out of the 3 days of this tournament so far and had the lead coming into today, Casey Ashley? What has gone on with Casey today? 1 fish, folks. Is it a matter of missed fish? Is it just a matter of not intersecting with the good ones yet? Still plenty of fishing time left, half the day almost. Remember now, every fish, there's no culling
Goes
at this
to his
point.
bottom line.
Goes right to his total. Every ounce
room
of
to
it.
move.
Yeah, he and Hackney are the only ones without limits.
In the top 12.
Yes. Well,
those are the only ones fishing today.
Yeah. Thanks.
I might point that out as well.
Oh. A critical bass right there. He'll keep.
Tried to get me, didn't you, buddy? Oh yeah, number 2. It's about dang time. Maybe they want a little top water this morning.
You can see almost every one of your anglers now, except for Hackney, have really adjusted the way they're fishing this lake compared to days 1 through 3 when we had high skies, slick water. Definitely a changing lake right now where, just talking to the folks in the truck, Card really dialed that in early today.
Some more of that.
It happened pretty quickly for Brandon Card. The big ones in the space of an hour could happen to any one of these guys.
Absolutely.
At any point.
The Bass Track posts on Card was 3 1/4 went at 10:25, and then 11 minutes later is 4 1/4.
Behind you, Wes.
Oh.
Oof.
I got something them suckers to buy. least I thought I did. No way that was a bass. Evidently I ain't got nothing for him. Run into it. Oh. That's what I thought. One of them come up, it looked like a bass. Another one hit it right here at the boat.
Casey actually trying to get in on that brief party there on top, back of the boat there. Didn't quite
Wasn't
get
a
there
very
in time.
long-lasting party.
No, it wasn't. No, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good point there, though. Back to Rick Clunn.
BassFest Live.
We've been on Rick since first thing this morning when we signed on with Bassmaster Live.
What's happening?
BassFest 2016. Hey, Rick Clunn.
Hey, but we need to make note about Rick Clunn. Actually got off to a pretty good start right off the bat. Not catching giants, solid fish. Did catch one a little bit over 3 pounds, it looked like. But that being said, Rick Clunn pretty vocal that his main bite really has come this week, kind of between from 11 all the way to weigh-in.
Yeah, all the weigh-in time. So he was way ahead of it still is way ahead of schedule, doing what he says he's been doing all week. That's mainly throwing that spinnerbait. We've seen him mix a few other things in there. A little bit of Topwater. Rick Clunn, 10 pounds, solid. A good 5 fish limit. Something to build on, definitely. Everyone knows you got to get a limit in the boat and then catch a 5 or 6 if you want to be standing near the trophy at the end of the day.
Did it one time this week. Thought maybe we might go down through here and pick us up a couple, even if it wasn't nothing but spots.
Casey Ashley looking for his 5th Bassmaster victory. Rick Clunn looking for his 16th Bassmaster win.
Fair to say we can throw a shout out. Co-worker Steve Wright throwing a little piece in earlier today, really early today. Is it finally topwater time?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, these fish are scattered anyway. This cloud cover don't help much. It scatters them even more. Bait still all in these bushes. One followed it in right there. See if he'll come back to second.
Oh. Casey Ashley now 2 fish in the boat. Sat on 1 for the longest time. Quick over moments ago, this was Gerald Swindle.
God, biggin'. God almighty. Frickin' biggin' got my crap, dude. Seen him get it. God, he got it again. Got 2 of my baits back to back. They look like a, you know, 3 or 4 pounder at least. Got 2 of my baits back to back. I seen him get it, throw it back in there, and he got it again, got my other bait.
Just getting with us on this Sunday morning, Gerald Swindle, second place in the points race, Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. Having a great tournament here, been hanging around at or just behind the lead all week long.
Throwing that bait right there, Zoom Z-Craw. It's been biting the top off just to make it a little bit more compact, 7/16 ounce weight.
Just lost a couple of them. Was definitely one he needed right there. Swindle, unofficially, we got him 4 pounds, almost 5 pounds behind Brandon Card.